On Friday, Wednesday, January 1st, I called Mitchell Wilson and asked if there was a time I could come by and do the tapes. Things were pretty slow at the station because of a snowstorm, so he said I could come down any time that day. The tapes were located at a branch not too far from me, so I braved the slushy roads and terrible Brampton drivers and made my way to the Peel Region Police Station, located at the Bramalea City Center. I met Wilson at the front desk, where he had led me up to the second floor into a small office. He instructed me to have a seat and wait while he went and got the tapes. Before leaving the office, he turned to me and said, "I know you're curious, but are you sure you want to do this?" And of course, I did. Or at least thought so. Besides, Wilson's friends had pulled a lot of strings to get me in there, and I didn't want to waste the opportunity. This particular station had 4 tapes on hand. I was only allowed to watch 3 of them, however, because the 4th tape was apparently too damaged to be played on a VCR. Paint with a Soul, Episode 3, How to Dust a Room. I had almost forgotten about the show. I never did see it on TV, but I did see that one episode at the Cowden police station. The episode opened up the camera panning around a small empty room. There was a window on the wall opposite of the door. Outside it was light out. The cameraman walked towards the window, revealing a small clearing before a dark, thick forest, about 15 feet from the window. The cameraman panned around and faced the door, and finally spoke. "Today, I am going to show you how to properly dust a room." I recognized the cameraman's voice as the same as before, quiet, timid, only this time with a clear stutter. Now here's when things got weird. The cameraman aimed the camera at his feet, revealing a metal broomstick, and grabbed it with his free hand. His hand was that of a white male, so it was easy to see the fresh, bright red blood that covered it. The man then explained that in order to get the room nice and dusted, you have to make sacrifices. And with that, the man began to smash the white plaster ceiling with a broomstick. Soon there was a significant hole in the ceiling, revealing the wooden slates that made up the roof. The floor was now pretty messed up with chunks of ceiling littering the floor, as well as a coating of plaster from the ceiling. The man aimed the camera at the floor and began to smush the larger pieces with his feet. The man then backed up to the door and had the camera show the mess he had created. And now the room is... The episode ended before he could finish. Wilson warned me that the next 2 tapes were more disturbing. I insisted to keep watching, although a voice at the back of my head told me I shouldn't. Booby, Episode 30, Children of the Light. It was Booby, one of the shows I had actually watched as a kid. I had never seen this episode before, and now I wish that were still true. The episode opened up the same way as every other episode I had seen. A single adult hand, Booby, was rocking back and forth. After a few seconds, Booby turned towards the camera and said, "Songs are sung the best when sung by children." The hand then disappeared out of view below the table. After a few more seconds, suddenly the picture cut to outside, aiming at a bonfire in a small pit. It was night, and it appeared to be in a small clearing in a forest, although it was hard to tell because of the camera quality. The camera then zoomed into the fire, which was burning fairly steadily. Suddenly, a human hand was forced into the fire by a pair of adult human hands. The hand was small, presumably belonging to a child, and was being held firmly in place by 2 larger hands. Sound was absent for the first few seconds, until a song began playing. The song I recognized from my childhood. I would sing it in church or at school. I went to a Catholic elementary school. If you don't know it, here's a link to the YouTube video. The song began playing as the hand was being held in orange flames. It continued as the hand struggled to escape the larger hand's grip. It continued as the flesh of the one hand began to turn beet red and peel away. It continued as dark smoke began rising from the hand. Must have taken only a few minutes for the hand to become blackened, save for a few instances of white bone visible under the charred flesh. Ugh, the image is burned into my mind. The hand was now limp, no longer moved. The episode then ended. Mr. Bear Cellar, Episode 30. Mr. Bear never ceases to disturb me, especially after what almost happened when I was younger. This episode took place outside in a forest at dusk, making it slightly hard to see, especially considering the quality of the film, a trademark of anything from Countdown Level 21. The episode started with the camera being held in the paws of Mr. Bear, aiming it at himself. That bear mask. It looked more sinister in the shadows of the trees. The unmistakable muffled voice spoke up. "Hello, children. Today I will be doing a wonderful thing for my friends. I will be delivering them to a faraway land where they will surely be happy." Mr. Bear turned the camera around to show an ATV with an attached trailer, like this. But what stood out the most was that the trailer contained 7 motionless children lying side by side. "This is the first load, but more will be on their way soon." Mr. Bear turned around and pointed the camera at a large burlap tarp spread on the ground. He picked up the tarp, revealing a large hole that must have been at least 12 feet deep and maybe about 15 feet wide. The rest of the episode consisted of Mr. Bear taking each kid and dropping them into the hole. I asked Wilson if they were dead, to which he shook his head and replied, "Not yet." Soon all the kids were in the pit. Some were in awkward positions due to being tossed in, but they remained unconscious. "The vitamin C will surely help these kids on the great journey that awaits them," Mr. Bear mentioned as he panned the camera towards multiple bottles of gasoline beside a bush. The camera zoomed into the bottles as Mr. Bear hummed before the episode ended. Wilson revealed to me that these were 7 of the 16 victims found burnt to a crisp. The gasoline is what the man playing Mr. Bear used to light them on fire. A pit full of burning children. Who the fuck would do that? A feeling of dread found me once again when I realized that I could have been one of those kids. Wilson then explained that he had previously lied, and the 4th tape owned by the Bramley Police Branch did indeed work and contain filming of the actual burning. However, he felt that I wouldn't be able to handle the disturbing and graphic nature of the episode. You know what? Maybe I can't. I don't even want to see it. I'm satisfied for now. But I just need some time to get myself together. The thing is, the man who ran Countdown Local 21 is still out there. More to come soon. Elliot.